We will not copyright or trademark that. We do not have the rights to this at all. Please do not sue us. Thank you.
Welcome to These Unprecedented Gays, featuring Joe Granelli and Paul Smith. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and review wherever you stream your podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at tugayspod and email us at tugayspod@yahoo.com. We hope you enjoy. I'm Paul.
And I'm Joe.
And we're These Unprecedented Gays.
No intro.
No intro.
We're gay right in. No We're gay to the point. Not straight to the point. We're curved for your pleasure. Gay to the point?
Yeah, gay to the point. So how was your week? I know that today has been kind of...
It's whatever. I mean, typical Max. Like, oh, hey, I have a boo-boo. I'm going to make you pay lots of money. I swear to God, that dog cost me a lot of money. But it's fine, I don't have children. So
tell our listeners what happened.
So we were on a walk this morning, and Nick was like, oh, there's like something on Max's paw. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I tried to like look at it, and Max was like, fuck you, He was like a little nippy, and I was like, oh, this is not ideal. And then I was like, maybe I should like take him. Nick was like, well, can you get an appointment at the vet tomorrow? And I was like, highly unlikely. And I was like, there is a emergency vet that we can go to. It's just expensive. And he was like, well, let's just do that. So we were there for 2 hours, mm-hmm. Almost 2 hours. And thankfully, like, you know, it's like, I'll say low risk. Like it's potentially like a foxtail or whatever that got under his skin. But I wanted to make sure that he is not like infected because we're going to be out of town. And we don't want him to like have to deal with that.
And for our listeners, it's Sunday today. So.
It is. I know. We're doing a different day.
So it's like, I love how, I mean, it's probably an emergency. So like even during the week, if you were to go to that emergency, it'd probably still be expensive. It's like calling a plumber on the weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's like, if you go to the ER as a human, the ER is way more expensive than like a routine doctor.
Right.
Like I think my ER visit fee is like $150. And like my whatever fee just to see a doctor is like $20. So it's extensively more expensive. I don't know if that's just my insurance, but like I know like emergency, because they gotta like make sure you're not like bleeding out and like dying.
Well, and you also have like pet insurance.
I do.
So that's good.
Yeah, so I'm a little more like, oh yeah, like loosey-goosey with it. Like, let's get him treated.
You're very loosey-LaDuca with it.
I will say that
Thank you.
The people that were at the ER, the humans, were just like the ER people you would see at other ERs on Sundays.
Oh my God, are they like the ones that like...
The crowd of people was a very unique...
There was, okay.
Well, and then you also probably have like a wide array of like animals.
Yeah.
Yes,
like
there was a cat, there was... Well, and it was interesting because there were like people that were like, we're here to visit. And I'm like... What?
And there was somebody like
visiting hours for their dogs?
ER story.
Right?
To donate
Untold Stories of the Dog ER. I'd watch that on TLC.
One person came back with a bag and was like, hey, we want to donate these because our dog or cat or whatever passed away.
From cancer? Yeah.
Cancer. So it was like the cancer drugs that are expensive.
Yeah.
They're trying to redonate it back to the...
But they probably were like, no.
Well, yeah, anyway, there was one lady who was like, we don't take that, and the other one was like, I've already talked to the doctor, and they're going to take it, so...
Oh.
It's like, okay, but here's the cherry on top was that there was a couple that come in, and the guy had a pee bag.
Colostomy bag.
No, it's
His
not
own?
colostomy.
Yes.
It was a bladder. Like, colostomy is for poop.
Oh, I thought...
It's a pee bag.
It's a, what do you call it, catheter bag.
Yeah.
catheter bag.
And I was like, well then. I mean...
How do you catheterize an animal?
Oh, no, this was a...
No, this was a human. So he walking up with his pee bag.
But also, like, you could like attach that to your leg inside your pants.
I know, it just...
You could put that around your waist like
Listen.
a fanny pack.
Maybe he had a lot to drink and he needed...
Destigmatizing our pee bags. Listen.
Like, get used to it, people.
was
We're
a unique
here.
day at the-
We're here. We're gonna pee on you. You don't need a golden shower because it's in a bag.
European.
But also, like, you probably, like, I always find it interesting when you go there. It's like somebody may have like their iguana. They brought their snake in a glass cage.
Oh my god! Thankfully it was just dogs and a cat.
Okay.
So
Very cute dogs.
yeah, but I was like, oh god, what a morning.
Yeah.
It was fine. Yeah. So that's my day. But I have other things that happened. How was your week?
It was good. Just kind of quiet. But then like Andy, we went to a party yesterday for a friend of ours.
I saw your pictures.
I know our friend wanted a carrot cake for his birthday, so Andy made 2 4-layer carrot cakes for that, and he made bonbons from scratch. So everything was made from scratch. It was beautiful, but like the bonbons were 3 different flavors, and they were kind of mixed up, so we didn't know because they all looked the same, so we didn't know which ones were which.
Oh,
so
you could have done like a taste test.
But like it's bonbon roulette. We don't know what you get. So,
bonbon roulette, and one of them is lethal with arsenic.
Right, yeah.
Who's gonna die today, bitch? Happy birthday.
That's what we should have said.
Right. I mean, hey everyone, there's 3 flavors. What is it? Caramel and the other 2 flavors. And the other one, there's one that has arsenic. So pick wisely.
But like, there were 3 flavors. There was like mango white chocolate. There was raspberry chocolate. And then there was yuzu caramel.
Okay, I saw it and I was like, what does that mean?
Yuzu is an Asian citrus. Kind of like lemon.
So it was like these are layered flavors.
Yeah, yuzu is really it's a great flavor for desserts. It doesn't have that bite of like a lemon necessarily.
Okay.
But it's kind of close.
Okay. If you have any, we can try.
I mean, he has quite a few, but I don't know with your.
No, I'm starting my acid
reflux.
trip on after we go to DC.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I know. I was like, we got pizza on Friday, and I was like, should I wait until after we get from vacation to start this new diet? And Nick was like, absolutely. I was like, okay, give me ranch.
I think there's a bonbon on your slice of. There you go.
That's the yuzu caramel right there.
Oh, that's the actual filling. So it's trying
It was
on air,
frozen, so it might be.
Ooh, it's cold. Ooh. You
get the caramel, but then you get that blast of like
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
which is a very citrusy flavor.
Oh, wow.
Like a little tart, a little sweet.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
So
My finger's sticky now.
we had like
Andy's sticky finger.
we had 3 of those flavors, and then there were like bonbons on the cake. There were like 20 of them, so we knew exactly where to cut to make slices. So it's
The
like-
one with arsenic, right?
yeah, and then a friend of ours, John, kept getting. He's like, I want to try the yuzu caramel. I'm like, it's bonbon roulette. We don't know which one you're gonna get.
Keep guessing.
He ate like 6 of them before he got the yuzu caramel because he was like, he'd get raspberry, he'd get a white mango chocolate, he'd get a lot of raspberry, and then
But
he's
no
like,
yuzu.
he was like getting so mad.
Well, because the only way to know is if you bite into it, right?
And I told his husband, I'm like, go up to John and be like, what flavor bonbon did you get? Because I got the yuzu caramel. It was really delicious.
I love that.
But it was a good party. It was like great because it was our friend's 50th, and we had a great time hanging out with our friends and stuff. And it was like the warmest day it's been in San Diego.
It was so
in
nice.
Forever.
Mm-hmm. It was like 70.
Yeah.
It was a
And so I
beautiful
was
day.
able to wear like my cute little like pink terry cloth
Nice.
short and shirt set. So I was like, oh, that's very cute.
What does that even mean?
I have like
And needless to say, we're making John a whole tray of yuzu caramel.
Yuzu, okay.
I have like a little like short set. It's a top and shorts by Dandy Del Mar. Shout out to Dandy Del Mar.
Who's
if you want
Dandy
to
Del Mar?
sponsor us. That's the name of the company.
Oh, not a person.
Not a person.
I feel like Dandy sounds
that does sound like a drag name though.
Or like Dandy Del Mar Yuzu. Yuzu Caramel.
Yuzu Caramel's another drag queen.
Yes. I like Dandy Del Mar. That's fun.
So I bought this like this set, and it's like kind of like that. It's a terry cloth, like a shirt, but it's in pink.
Those
and
are
it's
cute, like a
super
corduroy.
cute. No, it's almost like a robe kind of material to it. That's it right there.
Oh,
That
you were
exact
pretty.
outfit.
Were you pretty in pink?
I was.
Ooh, get a girl.
So
Come on, Dandy Melon. Or what is
Okay.
it? Dandy what?
Dandy Del Mar.
Del Mar. Are they in Del Mar?
I don't know. I think
Oh.
so.
In San Diego, Del Mar?
Yeah. So anyway, Yeah, so that was our week. Kind of, since we just saw each other on Wednesday, not a lot of time.
I know. I was like, the only thing that we did was we watched the 80 for Brady movie.
Oh, how was that?
I loved it.
Of course you did.
It is. Nick was like,
it would be your that and book club. Are you like?
Right.
I've never seen book club, but I want to. Like, if it's television for elderly women, then yes. Like, I'm for it.
Made for
gays and women of a certain age. But it was like, so I didn't realize that, like, it's based off of the, like, 2017
real life group of friends.
And it's the 2016 playoff or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a cute story. 2017. It was cute. I thought it was a good story. Because you have, like, Sally Field, who's like, I'm not 80. And then you have Rita Moreno. And so I was like, Nick, what is she from? And he's like, just like West Side Story. And I was like, like, let me look her up. And I was like, she is an EGOT, Nick.
Yeah.
And he's like, so maybe more than that.
In actuality, her role, she won an Oscar for her role as Maria.
Yeah, she did.
And so did Adriana Dubois, won the Oscar for that same role. It's one of the only roles where the person has won an Oscar playing the same role, more than once.
But she is 91, and I'm going to tell you, she is snatched.
Yes.
I want her skincare routine. I want everything. That's actually that could have been a good segue.
Oh, sorry, Anita, yeah.
Sure, yeah. No, it was one of those movies where you're like, they're making like old age cool. Like,
that's what I love about it. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was like, oh my God. And then the best part was Jane Fonda had a wig collection and they were so obnoxious. But I was like, I love this. And there's obviously a filter on her, but only her. And I was like, this is clearly in her contract, like, filter me. Because, I mean, she's been vocal about, like, facelifts and stuff like that, but I'm like, there's no way.
Well,
no way.
No, I mean, well, I guess you have to see when she does her, did she do a press tour for that movie yet? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question.
I have no idea.
Did it just come out? I think it just came out.
No, it's been out for a while.
Oh, it's been out for a while. Okay. What'd you guys watch it on? It was like, is it on? Like,
we had to rent it on Apple TV.
We're not renting anything.
Well, it was. So I was like, okay, it was $19.99.
Okay.
And I was like, this
for
is the
$20.
So, but I was like, out of the other movies, I was like, I don't want to watch The Whale. It's too serious. Like, all the other options, I was like, Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, I'll pay the $20.
Okay.
I'll do it.
It was pretty cute.
Did you guys watch Ted Lasso, the new season yet?
No.
I still have to watch the first season.
Okay. I'm waiting.
But I'll watch the first season on the plane to DC, so I'll catch up. Actually, let me set a reminder.
You have 2 seasons to watch.
Yeah, so you have 2 seasons to watch.
Ted Lasso. Download.
Okay,
you will not regret it.
You can catch up with Steve because it's good.
Start?
Yes, and it's like a 45-minute episode. It's so cute and it's very much Ted.
Are they releasing one episode at a time?
Oh, I know.
Listen. Oh my God. Okay, unrelated but also related. So I got rid of my Sling subscription.
Okay,
that sounds a little dirty. Everyone, it's not dirty. It's my television provider. My other Sling subscription is dirty because I moved over to YouTube TV because you get like 130 channels.
Okay.
And Sling, you get like 40.
Yeah.
And I was like, and it's only like $4 more a month. And then I get an email the next day. It's like, from YouTube TV, we've raised our prices.
Oh, of course.
And I was like, cool. And it was only like $4 more. But I'm just like, the whole reason I was trying to save money. So anyway, YouTube TV is way better. Like, you get unlimited DVR.
Mm-hmm. Who does DVR anymore in the world of streaming?
Well, me.
Okay.
But I will say it's annoying because now for Drag Race, I don't get East Coast time. It's on California time. So I have to wait until 8 o'clock.
Oh.
I know. But I can change my time location. So I might do that next week.
But you get commercials, right?
Yeah. I love the commercials.
I really like going back to commercials?
I love commercials. It's my connection to humans. I feel like commercials remind me that I'm a part of the human experience. I want to know about that drug interaction and what the side effects are. I want to.
Ozempic.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to know about Humira adalimumab. You tell me about your rheumatoid arthritis, girl.
Can I just tell you, we watch like shows on like what was it, Peacock or one of those where they still have the ads, and Andy and I are like, fuck this ad. We've watched this ad 5 times during the show.
Well, Oh, sorry. Go for
Well,
it.
and also, when we used to watch the BBC 4, they would do the same thing, but it was all British ads. And that was kind of entertaining because they're not the ads we normally see.
And we can't buy any of that stuff.
You're like, I could get a sofa in London right now. It's just amazing.
Do you think that? Oh my god, you should like see how much it would cost to ship it. That would be a lot.
I feel like ads are very different, but based off the channel too. Because like
Yes.
CBS shows, Paramount Plus are always like older.
Right.
The ones that we were watching for RuPaul's Drag Race were all like gay.
It was all
oriented.
like prep, and I was like, oh okay, I'm okay
Well,
with that.
I also don't like it when I'm watching the channel and that show happens to have commercials, but I'm also like, why do I have a commercial for the streaming channel I'm
watching. Yeah,
I'm like, no, y'all, that's not right.
yeah.
Not
Streaming advertisers, get it together.
All right, so that means it's time for mouth to mouth. Mouth to mouth resuscitation. So, what are you obsessed with, Joe? How many do you have?
I like 2.5.
Okay.
So like obviously so we'll be going to the District of Columbia, and I'm obsessed with making sure that I like can pack everything and not like overpack, and like kind of how I was for when we went to New York.
Okay.
The other thing, which is like I don't know if I'm obsessed with, but it like made me laugh very hysterically, is so I got a GoPro for my bike rides in case I get hit by a car, so I have stuff I could
Heaven
use
forbid.
for court, right? And so I sing while I bike, and I have headphones in while I bike. So I don't necessarily know how I sound. So I was playing back some of the footage, and it was like, and I was like, oh God. And I now may not be singing while biking.
I mean, I think that would be like a great YouTube channel. It's like kind of like carpool karaoke, but like bike lane ballads with Joe.
I could what are those called? We have the bikers, they like the carriage things. What are those things? Oh my God.
Like a sidecar or
no,
something?
they have them in Old Town, or no, in Gaslamp. Where
The bike carts.
Yeah,
the
what
ones
are those
where
called?
Tourists can ride.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Pedal
a
bikes.
like a
Yes,
pedal bike.
yes, I could do that, and it could be like pedal bike karaoke. I'm down for this. I'm down for this.
I was leaving Joe's house today. I'm going up the stairs away from his unit. It's distance.
Yeah.
And I'm in a stairwell, and all of a sudden I hear the same like operatic Joe singing.
I'm sure your neighbors
And I
love
was like,
that.
I can hear you singing.
Listen, the people that live above me drop fucking bowling balls and are cloggers. So if they're gonna hear some high pitched trills, you're welcome. It's the least I could do and get you back for your fucking loud ass feet and moving like furniture at 2 a.m. So that's my one. Did I do 2 already or 1?
Well, you did the packing thing too.
Yeah.
Is that like a half? Your
Well,
half?
yeah, that's my half because I'm like, okay, like I'm trying to get like all of like my stuff into like this and like what do I need to pack and like, mind you, I haven't packed yet,
Okay.
but like trying to make sure I have all the stuff.
Do you have a fit picked out that's nice for like if the Japanese
What's a fit?
like your outfit? So when you take your Instagram photos with the Japanese,
Oh, the blossom. They're going to be in
blossom. The
peak.
cherry
They're going to be
blossoms.
in peak whatever
yeah.
this week.
So it's like that's perfect Instagram footage right there.
So I'm going to have to dress up for that.
I mean, it'd be
Girl, my fit is jeans and a t-shirt. You know this.
But you need something that goes with pink.
yeah.
Lana, what is it? Something Del Mar?
Danny Del Mar.
Danny Del Mar. Do they do overnight shipping? Can they deliver to a hotel?
Can I pick up?
Well, I could deliver.
I was trying to. Andy would know this. The cherry blossoms, they're just for the most part in DC. There's a couple of spots, but they're mainly just around the tidal basin.
Tidal basin is the best part. Yes,
that's where we're gonna go.
And if you get there and it's a nice day, see them right away because they're super fragile and the strongest wind or light rain could make them go away fast.
Oh.
So like seize the day. When
A
you
gust of wind.
We're gonna seize the day. What's the one from?
Oh,
in the gates and
Seize the
There was
day.
also one that we did in chorus, like, I think it was from Come From Away. No.
No, it was Newsies. That's the one we were doing.
Oh. Seas. Yeah, I feel like that was another one. So that was my 1.5. And then the other one is Los Alejandros Mexican food on University Avenue in North Park.
Okay.
And, like, it is not, like, class A Mexican food, but it is, like, authentic and just, like, tasty and, like, greasy as fuck and, like, all that you need. And it reminds you of, like, college nights at, like, 3 a.m. after a night of partying, and you're like, I just need some Mexican food. So it hits the spot.
Okay.
But they have really good fish tacos.
Hit us up, Los Alejandros, if you want to sponsor us.
But, so the sad thing about the place, like, I have never seen another person, like, another, what do they call it? Like, customer. I was like, employee,
a person,
another purchasing human being,
patron.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone else in the establishment, and I'm like, oh, but they're really good.
Well, that's a ringing endorsement.
But they've been around, so clearly they're making some money.
I think that just they're good about getting their customers in and out, unlike
Kalima's.
the place down the street where there's a line around the corner, but that just has to be because they don't have enough service to...
Oh my god, I also have a hypothesis about Sunny Boy Biscuits in Hillcrest that they may not have enough employees, but they have, like, there's always a line. And I'm like, that's a marketing technique to get people there. And I'm like, it's not hard to make a biscuit sandwich. It really isn't. The biscuits are made, right? They don't have to bake them. Okay, scramble some eggs? Don't think that takes an hour.
I don't really like them anyway, so...
So I'm okay with them, but they're on the downward trend for me because I don't want to have to wait an hour and a half to get a damn biscuit sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, and the line out the door is fake news.
And if you want to actually get your Sunny Boy Biscuits, if you're in San Diego and you don't want to go to Sunny Boy Biscuits, you could actually go to Uptown because they use Sunny Boy Biscuits in their biscuits and gravy.
Well, now I know where all the biscuits go.
And they're just as
They are! You know what has... what was the diner in Mission Hills? Joe's Diner? They had a really, like, cute... biscuits and gravy with, like, biscuit sausage gravy, and they were like little biscuits, and it was like 5 or maybe 4 or 5, and it wasn't like too heavy, but it was still the flavor. So Joe's Diner is the place to go.
Fieri went there for Diners Drivers.
The better thing for going to Uptown for those is that you can have a cocktail while you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean the Uptown isn't bad, but it's like you get extra gravy and you're good.
Yeah,
they've changed their menu. I miss the old Uptown,
but then I always get chicken with it, so it's like chicken and biscuits instead of chicken and waffles.
Yeah. Oh my god, those crackers are so good. The chicken and biscuit crackers.
I just thought you meant somebody working there.
Do they still make them?
I think they do.
They do.
Oh,
no, I don't like that.
I have biscuit.
They are so good in the blue box. I think.
Yep.
Oh,
whatever that
so
flavor
good.
was like.
It was MSG, and I'm for it. What are you obsessed with?
I have 4 things that I'm obsessed with.
Girl.
I know.
Girl.
I got a lot this week. So first off, you guys walked in and I was doing one of my obsessions, which is trivia on YouTube or Triviaverse on Netflix.
Okay.
So I like doing, Andy and I do these like guess the song or guess the musical thing on YouTube.
And I'm just going to say, he is amazing. We need to be on a game show because we could win a lot of money.
Let's do it together. Was one of them?
The ones on YouTube aren't interactive, but there is one on Netflix called Triviaverse that is interactive.
How do you interact with it?
You use your
it's
2 teams. You can play against each other or against the
We'll do it
one
after,
person.
We'll do it after.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just use the remote.
Is it like multiple choice?
Yes. And so I'm obsessed with those. Mm-hmm. I'm also obsessed with Next in Fashion on Netflix.
Okay.
Just because...
Is that with Tan France?
That's with Tan France and Gigi Hadid.
Okay.
I really love the contestants on there. I think some of them are really cool. There's a guy who does everything in denim almost, and I thought he was like super cute.
Okay, that's a look.
I know, but I was like, and it's so funny because
takes
like
it to a whole other place though.
Right. And then I'm like, I love like watching these, and then I'm like, they should do this, and then somebody does it, and I'm like, oh, see, I called it.
You're a fashion designer.
Exactly.
When are you gonna start it? You are. That's your drag name. Next in Fashion. Fashion.
We're obsessed with Barry on HBO.
I didn't watch that.
Oh, it is super
I've never
funny.
watched it.
We never did either, and we just started.
Really?
What
And
is Barry?
It's actually really well.
Yeah,
done.
it's a Bill Hader.
Okay.
Bill Hader, yeah.
Bill Hader, who used to play Stefan on
Yes.
SNL. He plays the lead, and he plays a guy who was in Afghanistan and did a storm and all this, and he was a Marine, and now he's a hitman. But he goes on a job and ends up following somebody into an acting class and realizes that he wants to be an actor.
Oh, is it like comedy?
It's like a dark comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's super funny, like him trying to balance the two, and also he's also like a leading man kind of thing. So there's a romantic interest and stuff. So it's interesting to see him
There's
in
a
this.
lot of
like,
plots.
There's a lot going on, but I actually really like it. So
Okay.
it's
And there's a lot of Hollywood laughing at itself.
right.
There's a lot of good.
Yes.
I like that, like poking fun.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a good show. So we're still on the first season.
Barry,
So,
okay.
Yeah. And then my last thing is I'm so happy because Top Chef is back.
Okay.
For season 20, but it's Top Chef World. So like all like
Season
winners.
20?
Yeah. So everybody is like either a winner or they were in the top 3 that went to the finale in their season.
So it's like Drag Race All Stars.
Right.
All Stars
But, like,
All Stars.
instead of just doing just like, Canada versus the world where it's only like 3 countries, you're talking like Canada, Philippines, Poland. They've got 2 people from Middle East, North Africa.
Oh, wow.
So they have like people from when they say
Quite
world,
literally
they mean
global.
all over the world.
That's Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
Okay. And I mean, these people are amazing. So they had this, like, the last episode was all about rice.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like, Andy, somebody should do a kanji. Or somebody should do, like, a black rice pudding.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, like, that's exactly what people did.
Why are you not on these competition shows? So not only is she a seamstress, a fashion designer, an icon in the House of Smith, now you are a chef that is global.
Right. But you know what the cool thing is? I love watching this because people have different palettes. So I love what they do and the kind of, like, flavor profiles they're doing.
Ooh,
and
Daniel
also,
McKay, hello.
and yeah, some of them are kind of cute too.
Oh, Dale.
Dale is from Canada. May is my favorite because she's from the Philippines and she won Thailand, but I'm just like, she's amazing. So,
All right.
yeah, so it's a great show. So check it out on Bravo. Every episode comes out every week on Thursday, but you can watch it on Peacock on Friday.
There you go.
So,
Look at you. 4.
4.
You are living an obsessed life.
I am.
I love it. I love that for you. I love how obsessed you are.
Speaking about obsessed,
Yes.
their topic for this week could become an obsession for people.
Amor, no es. Do you remember that song by Frankie J, Obsession, No Es Amor?
No.
Oh, maybe it's not Frankie J. But you said obsession, and it was like
All I know is Obsession by Human
Mariah
League.
Carey.
No.
Or no.
By Human League. Are you my obsession? You're my
Does it
obsession.
Mariah? I feel like Mariah. Oh no, Why Are You
You
Obsessed
want
with
me
Me?
to be-
That was Mariah Carey.
Yes.
I don't know.
Don't try singing it. So anyway, this week we're talking about plastic surgery.
And body yaddy yaddy.
And like, I kind of figure it's like more like body modification because like when you say plastic surgery, I tend to think of like only facelifts and
Yes.
rhinoplasty. But like there are so many other things that you can do.
It's cosmetic
surgery.
procedures.
Oh, there you go.
That's where celebrities, when they go, I haven't had plastic surgery, they're like, well,
I've had a
that's
cosmetic
misleading
procedure.
because you've had filler, you've had Botox, you've had skin rejuvenation, and those are all cosmetic procedures.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, and like, people get like, in Asia, people do like, leg lengthening.
Yes.
And I'm like,
You can get taller. I remember there was a story, and it was, I think, on TLC, and it was a woman who wanted to be a flight attendant, and she didn't meet the height requirements, and she had the surgery, and then she was able to, because she was like 2 inches too short. But
Right.
they cut your leg, your bones, and then they what is this? Like not staple it. They like put rods in.
Yeah.
So you can get taller. Yeah.
And it's like your bone is supposed to, the bone will grow
Yep.
supposedly to connect the two back together again.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
But I want to preface this conversation with like, if you want to do plastic surgery and you want to have cosmetic procedures and you want to do anything to your body, you do you.
Right.
As long as you're not hurting anybody and as long as you're like doing things legally, that's totally your business.
Well, and I'll preface it even more. Like, this is about what we're talking about here is not medically necessary procedures, like if somebody is getting their cleft palate fixed, or they're having the extra fat removed after losing a lot of weight.
Yep.
Or gender reaffirming.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, gender affirming care, depending on what you want to do and how far you want to take it, some people feel like some of those are choices and some aren't. And like, I don't think it is, because you want to be your authentic self.
Yep.
But like, also, I mean, like breast reduction, like for some people, it's not a choice anymore, because like they deal with back pain, neck pain, lower back problems.
Patricia Heaton?
Patricia Heaton. Yes.
She was famous for that.
Rachel Bloom also had, after she had her second child, she was the lead in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend on Fox.
I never saw that.
But she is a very large, busted woman.
A voluminous lady.
Yes.
Wasn't that Michelle Visage too, right?
Michelle Visage from Drag Race had breast reduction.
She had to get it removed because she had Hashimoto's disease, which was Hashimoto's disease.
Hashimoto's?
Well, because it's in your thyroid.
Like a mushroom.
It's either Hachi or Hashimoto's disease, and it's basically she was convinced that because she had breast implants that it linked to her autoimmune disease.
It's an autoimmune disorder.
But that can stem from implantable cosmetics.
And
not cosmetics.
Here's the other
things.
thing. Like, we're not judging anyone who wants to get it done. It's something like, do you to make yourself feel better.
Exactly.
Only thing is, please do your research.
Yes.
And please talk to like a mental health professional before doing anything, because like you're gonna need help before, during, and after. Because like you want to find out what the root issue is for why you want to do this.
Right.
And then you're going to have somebody to talk to deal with how you look afterwards. Was that enough? Do you feel better about yourself? Did it work? Did it like, is this the end result you wanted?
Well, and what is it when you don't have the right, your image of yourself is different from how others
body dysmorphia.
So if you have body dysmorphia, plastic surgery is not going to solve your body dysmorphia.
Right.
Yep.
You can make yourself look skinnier, and you're still going to see yourself as a fat person.
Well, and you could be insecure about something, like you're insecure about your nose, but once that's fixed, are you going to see, oh, now I'm insecure about how wide my eyes are away from each other?
Gateway drug, girl.
That's what I mean by obsession.
Tattoos, we were saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and then you have folks that do that, and you end up on like botched. You know? Or like think of like Michael Jackson. That's a perfect example, you know? But that was a key, like he was a key case study basically in the psychological underlyings of like self-image.
Right. Because he got bleached his skin. He nose job, facelifts, tummy tucks.
Well, and then that could all start from a very legitimate place. Like he had, what is the disease where you get skin discoloration?
Vitiligo.
Vitiligo.
Yeah.
Vitiligo, yeah. So I think he suffered from that. And, that was a big motivator for him wanting to get skin treatments, at least if you listen to the
Right.
And that's perfectly understandable, but it's where it goes from there that is.
But also, I think some of his stuff also stemmed from the way he grew up and how he was treated and how people looked at him, because there have been reports where he was like, he thought he looked too black. So it's like he wanted to get his nose straightened out.
I heard
he wanted
that it was
skin lightening and stuff like that. So
and he didn't want to be like his dad, because his dad he had his dad's nose,
right?
And he was like, I want nothing to do with that.
And I didn't know that Cardi B had her nose done.
Everyone has it. Honestly, I feel like so many, and that's the thing is like, I feel like, and a lot of the stuff that I wrote down topics wise were like deep, thought provoking things, but I feel like celebrities need to be upfront and honest, because you're in the public eye and people are looking at you as like, oh, you're like naturally like this. And it's like, bitch, you are not. I had a nose job. I had a facelift. Then at least like young kids don't have these unexpected like goals.
Right. And it's funny because like I was reading this article about Cardi B, and like she had butt filler put in, like on Pose. They were talking about those back alley like butt implants where they like put in some kind of weird cement or something in your butt.
There was a woman on Botch that had that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she had to get that taken out. And then, you know, she did like her breast implants. She's fine with those.
Yeah.
But then she went to get her nose done and they convinced her to do filler because it's non-invasive.
Yeah.
But then something happened.
Oh, no.
So then she had to go in and get her nose done. But like, so funny that Kim Kardashian was the one who gave her the name of her plastic surgeon. Who is not Terry Dupro. Because we all know Terry Dupro from Real Housewives of Orange County.
And also Botched. You got what's the other guy?
Oh, I don't know him. I don't care.
Dr. Nassif. He cute. They fine.
Because Terry works with, he's married to Heather Dubrow.
Yep. And she's on Orange County. Yep.
All right. So to me, there's 3 reasons people get plastic surgery. Number 1, fix something that's truly broken, whether it was from an injury or from a birth defect. You're just trying to get back to normal human
function
characteristics. Number 2, to not lose something that you had before, so aging and trying to overact aging. And then the third one is to create something that you don't already have. It's like, how do you feel about each one of those?
That's a very accurate bucket list, like or not bucket list, but like topic list. Yeah, I feel like so absolutely.
We were just watching, because it falls into number 3. We were just watching a YouTube video about like plastic surgery fails, but they were like people who want to look like Barbie.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
A woman who wants to look like Barbie,
or the Ken guy,
or the guy who wants to look like Ken, which I'm like.
These people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars,
if not millions.
Because Barbie was $1 million.
Millions,
that's not covered by insurance.
Because you've got to do the upkeep on it too.
What upkeep?
Like these things are like, as you age, things have to get done again.
Diamonds are not forever.
Right? Well, and what's interesting too now is like a lot of younger people are like, I need a facelift in my 30s. And it's like, you don't need a facelift in your 30s. Like, that is not it. And what's happening is you're basically like screwing up your natural age progression that you will then need more work in the future.
And you're also like, it's starting younger where people are trying to look better and younger, so that I think because of our society and like TikTok and Instagram, it's just like it's creating and filters. Like when you put those filters on and you're like, oh, I look really good. Maybe I should get some Botox. Maybe I should get. It's like, no, you're not going to look like that.
No, and I remember a Botched episode where I don't know who it was. One of the doctors was like, there was a person that came in and was like, I want to look like the Snapchat filter, and they were like, that's not human. You physically can't look like that.
Oh, I think it was a woman, and like Terry Dubrow was telling her.
Yeah.
He's like, because I saw that on the YouTube video too. I was like, oh no, sweetie.
Well, and I mean, you hit on a good point too, because like kind of Andy's the first, or no, I don't know which bucket it was. The second bucket to like prevent, like preserve. I feel like a lot of kids like in their 20s are now opting to get Botox, and it's like your collagen hasn't even started to degrade, girl. Literally. You have until 25 where you're still building your body up. Like, after 25, things start to go down from there.
And I know that Botox has, like, other benefits, like, helps with migraines and stuff like that. Yeah. But I'm also like, that's another upkeep thing that I can't do. Cause, like,
and it's expensive.
I was reading about, like, I was reading a BuzzFeed article, and it was like, what did you give up, during the pandemic kind of thing, and somebody was like, oh, I gave up Botox shots. Oh. And it was like, it saved me $500 a month because like I would have to,
Wait, like, $500 a month?
A month. Because they would get it done twice a month.
Woo!
And I'm like...
But also, how much Botox were they getting?
Okay, well, but like, here's the thing. Like,
when they were like, was their face snatched?
That was a scrotox.
I still can't, I could never do that.
I mean, like, if you're getting your brow done, depending on what areas you're doing, if you're doing your whole brow, it could take 25 units.
It's, yeah.
And how long does it last?
About a couple of weeks.
I think I think it maximum is 6 weeks, and it depends on how much and how quickly you metabolize things. So if you have a faster metabolism, or like severely active,
like a 20-year-old,
then you basically need it more often.
I'm curious about it though, and I think that there's another part of all this. It's like I have a curiosity of like, what would I look like with Botox? Like, I want to try it. I'm nervous about the needle going into my head and any sort of pain, but I kind of want to be like, what am I going to look like with Botox?
Well, see, if I wanted to, I could get it done and not pay for it.
You got a guy or a girl or a them?
Come on.
but
I'll do it for you.
See, I'll get it done by a trained professional. Like, there are people who will get it done by, like, their friends.
No,
And that,
nope.
like, DIY, like, plastic surgery is never
That's a recipe
thing.
for disaster.
Oh, and also people who want to save money on plastic surgery, so they go to, like, Mexico or somewhere, and you're like, are they regulated? Like,
are they reputable?
Well, and I was like, we were watching this thing on YouTube, and I'm like, these people are dying or have brain damage because of something that happened. Like, one person was had brain damage because they put the anesthesia in the wrong part of her spine. And I'm like, this is why I'm like, you need to do your research, pay out of pocket so you can get like top tier help. But even then,
mortifying.
It's not.
There are no guarantees.
Right.
You are talking about medical procedures where shit happens.
Well, right. So the funny thing that is, or not funny, but what I find fascinating about all of this is that we are part of a clinical trial with Botox, with filler, with all of these procedures because we don't have data of long-term effects. So if you think about it, we have no idea. I know, like, and I watch a lot of like skincare videos, like a lot of like this kind of stuff. So it's like Botox there's always a con to the pro. The pro is that it has wrinkle smoothing. The con is that it causes atrophy of your muscles and then that shrinks them. And then guess what? When you're older, you don't have the musculature and you're going to have sagging and drooping, which is exactly what you're trying to prevent. So there's a lot of stuff that I think people don't really do the research or investigation up front because they're like, I want this now. I need the youthful look. But I think the one takeaway, if anyone has a takeaway, is do the research and look at everything.
Doesn't Botox keep you from sweating in your underarms?
It does, but then you just sweat elsewhere. Because your body's, and that's the thing, is your body's got to get rid of it. You have to excrete sweat. So then you're just going to have sweaty palms, sweaty eyelids.
I think it's more like they don't have to wear deodorant anymore because they don't sweat, so they don't create the smell, so that's why they do it.
Well, there are a clinical diagnosis called hyperhidrosis, which is excessive sweating. I thought I had that for the longest time, but I'm just a sweaty bitch. Like, and I've like embraced
She's
it.
sweaty and thirsty, y'all.
Towards the end, I want to know like what things and like what insecurities you have. So we'll get into that. But like, I was like, maybe I should get Botox in like my armpits so I don't sweat. And then I'm just like, no, I'm okay because I don't want to have to pay for it because I'm a cheap bitch.
So, did you ever watch the show? It was on in like 2004. Did you ever watch the show The Swan?
I remember it.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what that is, it was a show.
Peak reality TV, by the way.
On Fox.
It would not be legal now.
No. So what it was is it was a show where each week you would meet two self-proclaimed ugly ducklings. And they would follow them for 3 months. They would go to a specific place to stay. And they would be given a personal trainer, a dietitian, a plastic surgeon, and a therapist.
Was this the one where they competed for the procedures?
No, they got all the procedures they needed. They figured out with the doctor what procedures they needed. So they got all of it. Oh, and they got a dentist too, so they could figure out their smile and stuff. Everything.
Okay.
So they got all of it. Wow. But then whoever they thought was the most attractive at the end of the episode got to compete in the Swan beauty pageant at the end of the season.
That's what it was. Okay.
Right. So you got, like, when you think about it, like, you are taking these women and they're doing like numerous
full body
procedures.
Different people. Yeah,
like, you know, they're getting their jowls done, they're getting brow lifts, tummy tucks,
everything,
appendectomies, like butt lifts, all this stuff. Yeah.
Personal
over 3
training,
months,
new teeth, everything.
They weren't allowed to look in any mirrors, so any like reflective surfaces or mirrors were covered up in the apartment they were in.
Yep.
And then one woman got kicked off because she looked in a mirror. Yes.
But so the crazy part is like the psychology of all of that, because you go in you're going in a person and you exit a totally different person. And guess what? They don't have aftercare. They don't have a therapist that follows you after the fact.
Can you imagine you thought you were not that pretty at for your life, and then you come out and you look like this, and you're getting all these people saying, "Oh my God, you're gorgeous, you're gorgeous, you're gorgeous," and you're like, I don't recognize me because they have hair extensions.
Everything
which to me
is different.
I feel like is a cosmetic procedure because like
you should get hair extensions. I don't know.
Oh my god!
I mean, like,
ew.
Okay, no, I would have to grow my hair out, but like, we should do it.
I maybe get a mullet, like a mullet extension.
I have no idea how they do it, but I'm down.
Removable.
Yeah,
let's do it. But also, they're like really expensive, so maybe not.
Yeah,
we'll find someone.
If I want human,
yeah. Well, you can have human, but it's pubic.
Extra curly.
I get the Perkin. That's like a male Markin.
It's like, Joe, I didn't know you had curly hair. I do now.
So I need a relaxer.
You know who had like a plastic surgery type talk show? RuPaul.
Really?
Yeah, he had a show called Good Work. And it was a talk show where he would bring on people to talk about their, like celebrities to talk about their plastic surgery. But Terry Dubrow was also a co-host with him on this.
Was it
It lasted one season.
Okay.
So that should tell you how good that talk show, kind of like the RuPaul show.
So, speaking of RuPaul, because there's always that kind of repeated cycle where you get a queen who does really well on RuPaul, and then they come back for either an All Stars or some other thing, and they always come back a little different.
Oh, they're a lot different.
Have you ever seen one where their comeback was actually better than their original?
I think some folks maybe like there was some folks that got veneers. I think.
Teeth, yeah,
but I don't. I mean. Most notably, the one that comes to my mind was Sister for UK, and that was not. I mean, that was like, girl, you've done work.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody come back with work that was like, oh wow, they look so much better.
Here's the thing.
It's always filler and Botox.
Well, but like, and some of them might have like facial reconstruction, like contouring and stuff like that, because what they're doing is they want to make their face look better when they're in female.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's all created by like raising the cheeks, smoothing out.
Like Brooklyn Heights for Drag Race Canada 2 or whatever. I was like, girl.
So when you look at them outside of makeup, you're like, But when they put on the makeup and they highlight all the stuff that they had,
you're like,
it looks great.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I will say Shea Coulee is the only one I think that had like filler and maybe a little bit of work on her cheeks that actually looked really good.
She's like more like androgynous, right? Shea Coulee.
I mean, yeah, she has like when she's in boy, she looks still very feminine. So it's like,
I mean, but Shea's a very attractive person,
right?
Yeah.
So, but like. You can always tell when somebody's done it because then they come in with the bigger lips. So it's
like
fuller.
Alaska. For Alaska. Remember that one?
Oh my god.
Those look tragic to me.
Yeah.
Lip filler in general to me, I've never seen someone get lip filler.
Like when Naomi came back.
It's a lot. Naomi
Smalls when she came back.
Yes.
She had like the big lips and we're all like,
why?
Oh, sweetie.
But that's the thing too is like it in moderation, and that's the key is like I think, and like the goal of any like cosmetic procedure or plastic surgery is never to drastically change. It should be to enhance. But I think a lot of people go to the point where in order for them to see a change, it is more drastic.
Well, and you're talking about drag. So drag is all about exaggeration and camp. So it's always, unless that queen is about selling a fantasy of being, you know, a real woman, like... They're going to go for the exaggerated, which is like the big lips and, you know, everything snatched. What they consider like an exaggerated beauty standard of what women are supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But like in Asia, women get what they call the V-line, which is what some drag queens get also. It's like the V-line shape. So your face comes down and it ends at a V on your chin.
Yep.
And it's really huge in Korea. Korean women do that a lot.
They're very, very big on physical appearance for sure.
Right, because they do eye widening.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they also get like eyelid, like they do their eyelids and stuff like that to look Western.
Yes,
like where they get the crease.
But also, it's like Asians tend to have a little bit more like what they call like fat on their eyelids, so they tend to get the one eyelid instead of the dual.
Yeah.
Like kind of thing. So. I can get that. I mean, like, would you ever get plastic surgery?
So that's where I don't think I would have cosmetic, like a procedure for me, because my biggest self-consciousness is my skin. I suffer from adult acne, and like, it's a big thing where it's like, it's never been something that I'm like, wow, my skin is radiant and youthful and glowing and blah, blah, blah. So for me, it would be like cosmetic, like skin treatment. So like laser things,
chemical peel,
like chemical peels. I don't necessarily think I would need would want filler or Botox. Mostly because for me, like, I'm very expressive. And like, if I weren't able to like be like raise my eyebrows or like make any of those things, it'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, Joe, you're supposed to look surprised. This is
so
my surprise.
But like, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, it can be very much of a like slippery slope snowball effect where you get one thing and then you tweak, and then you get it like minor tweaks here and there turn into big changes. Right. They like aggregate, like with Courtney Cox. That's a perfect example.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, I'm going to get a little filler here, a little filler there. And it quite literally ballooned up. And it was like, whoa, you know? And thankfully those things you can dissolve and they go away. But like, if you do something, then like if you got, say you got like a nose job to make your nose smaller or whatever, you can't get your nose bigger.
Right.
I mean, maybe, but then it's like, now you're having to pay to correct those things. So like for me, it would be anything that would be more for like skin health, or like skin stuff.
I didn't know that they can dissolve the filler in your face and stuff, or because who was it? Black China, who was like dating Rob Kardashian for a while. Yeah. She had a lot of filler and stuff in her face, and then she went in and had it dissolved, and it looks so different. Yeah, because the filler pulls your cheeks up.
It adds volume,
and it's like it makes your face look more sunken in by your cheeks. Yep. And then when she got it dissolved, her face kind of like
gets gone.
Filled out, and I'm like, oh, it looks so beautiful. But also like, chemical peels scare me.
Chemical peels are scary because your face peels off.
Right. I'm like, all I can think about is like a horror film where it's just like somebody's like pulling their face off, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. Or like, I've seen people who've had it and they're like, their face is super red. Like, we had a woman come in one time, and she had to have a tooth taken out in emergency. And she had just gotten a chemical peel like 2 days before.
It's a burn to your skin. Yeah.
And we're all like,
yep.
Are you okay?
And you can't, but like, I mean, that's the things where it's like, those are like, I would say less permanent. You know what I mean? Like, they're obviously very scary because your face is being peeled off, but like, it's not like you're getting a new nose. You're like getting a reduction of something.
I don't know. I feel like a nose job would be scary too, because there's somebody inside your skull, like tapping away at your nose.
Oh my gosh. Tapping on your window pane.
And part of that's because you work for an oral surgeon and you hear that chisel sometimes, right?
I would say if I had, and I think what I, like the third bucket, or again, I don't know whatever buckets it were, but like if I had to correct an anatomical thing that was a disadvantage to my like function, like if I had like a severe deviated septum that impaired my breathing, like that is technically a cosmetic procedure.
Yes.
But that's plastic surgery. Or if like I needed to have like reconstruction of like, what do you say, a cleft palate or something? Yeah. Like those, like to regain like biological function, like those I agree. But then it's like, those are still really like the recoveries on those things, like they're all extensive. You have to go under
multiple surgeries involved. So it is still a huge, pain, time, healing. There's a lot of commitment related to it.
I just don't want people peeling my skin off. And I don't want
I would do a chemical peel.
I would never go to like a plastic surgeon's office, because I'm just like, they take the marker and they mark you up and they're like, we need to focus on this. It's like almost like doing plays for a football game. They're like X's and O's, and I'm like, no.
But they're also like very unemotional about it. Like in their mind, it's just like
right.
But a good... so I think...
It's like a canvas. They can...
Yeah, she's like, I would do this. And they're not trying to be mean or like any dick. It's just
I don't think that's true, though. I think that's more of the Hollywood, like, televised. Because if you're a good surgeon, like what you were saying, or I don't know, maybe it was you, Paul, where like there's a mental psyche vow that goes along with it. So if you have somebody that's like, I need to do this, 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 and this, I would hope a good surgeon or a good doctor would be like, pause, like, I'm not going to do this.
Or at least find out what the root cause is. Like, why do you want to do that?
Personally, I mean, after you've lived a long time, and I've lived a long time, I'm the oldest in this room right now, but like, the standard of beauty changes.
Yeah.
And so what is attractive right now is not going to be the same in
You don't want the Instagram face. Yeah, right? The Instagram face is not going to be popular.
This week. It's not even next year, you know, like...
Well, and I don't even think it's about beauty anymore either. It's like, what can I do to stand out? Like the woman who got 6 ribs removed so she could have a 16-inch waist.
Oh,
like,
God.
6
Girl,
ribs.
that holds in your vital organs.
I know, and I'm like, your organ's just out there just raw dogging it inside your
my
body.
God! Hey, what's that? Oh, that's my heart.
That hourglass was the trickle of her food going through her intestines.
Like, and she, like, you're compressing your lungs and liver and spleen, so they're all just kind of like hanging out in there, like with nowhere to go.
Because she wanted to look like Jessica
Rabbit or Tinkerbell.
But yeah, I mean...
Those are fictional characters. Or like people who get it done so they can look like a celebrity.
Oh, I know. But that's like the fads. It's like, why are you treating... You're going to have your body until you die. Your body isn't a fad. It's not a trend. And that's what is dangerous right now with TikTok, specifically buccal fat removal. So you see people that have the like...
Is it
gaunt...
buccal or buccal?
Buccal. I don't know. Buccal, buccal.
Tams.
But that is a permanent thing where they remove your buccal fat pad. And guess what? You can't get that back. Because it's gone forever.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
It depends. Like
my face is really round. I feel like I could deal with a little bit of like male liposuction.
Guess what? When you're older, you need volume back because you lose volume as you age. So if you get rid of that volume when you're 20, you are going to look like a skeleton
I think I'll still
when
be
you're
loud
50.
when I'm 50.
You'll be what?
I'll still be loud. I have enough volume. As our listeners know.
But that's like, those are the things that I don't think people think about. They're like, oh, I want to look like Lea Michele because she has like the cheekbones, right? And it's like, guess what, bitch? In 15 years, that's not going to be a thing.
Well, and it's also like there's a woman who spent millions to look like Kim Kardashian. Mm-hmm. Do you think in like 10 years you're still going to want to look like Kim Kardashian?
Exactly. Like, I mean, surgery's pretty drastic. Like, I don't think it should be taken lightly. I do think like there should be like mandatory psych evals prior to anything, and I don't know if that would ever happen because I mean, doctors, again, they take the Hippocratic Oath and they should have the best interests of the patient in mind, but like they also got to make some money.
Okay, so for like, because a lot of this is more about like women.
I was gonna say
and stuff. So like for men, I was like going through like trying to figure out like what men get done, and like they, you know, of course they get hair transplants.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But like some of the biggest ones for men are like chin and jaw implants because
or filler.
Right. If they don't have a strong jaw, that's considered like a weak...
It's emasculating.
Right.
There's a guy from One Direction that just showed up on the red carpet. And it's just funny that we were like choosing this topic of conversation because like everything in like popular culture right now, Liam Payne.
Oh my God.
He looks very different and he has a big jaw. And like Zac Efron with that big jaw, remember that?
Oh.
He looks very different.
He does look different. Mm-hmm. If you guys haven't look up photos of Liam Payne because somebody got a jaw implant, y'all.
But it could be filler. And that's the thing too, where it's like, there's like masculization filler that people do. Like Gottmik gets it. Gottmik from Drag Race. And it's they put filler right on your jawline to make you have a more like chiseled look.
Okay.
By the way, speaking of Drag Race people, have you seen Milk's new fashion stuff?
No.
So he now is apparently pretty hot. He's become a twunk more than a twink.
Milk was always hot. Let me see. Milk.
You probably
drag
had to do Milk Drag Race, Nick. So.
Oh, Big and Milky. Yeah, that's the Instagram name.
Look at.
Oh, that was a promo.
Yeah.
That's from Drag Race.
So
Just look on Milk Drag Race Instagram.
So while he's doing that, so another thing that's popular with men is like tummy tucks.
Really?
Yeah, well, because they want that flat stomach. You know what I mean? They want to be able to do that kind of thing.
I've done that. I haven't gotten like a tuck, but I did cool sculpting.
Okay. Ooh. Talk to us about cool sculpting, because I know this is like a pretty. They say it's new.
It's not invasive.
I feel like it's
non-invasive.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah, and the thing is that a lot of these cosmetic surgery type things. This wasn't surgery. These cosmetic procedures are becoming more cheaper,
more accessible,
because the cost was down, and so during COVID, I was like, they were running a promo at some local spot, and I went and got cool sculpted. And whether or not it worked or not, I think it did. And it's supposed to help just like melt some of the freeze off some of the stuff. And but the thing is, they want you to come back a lot and
you have to
do it. And I was like, I just want to try it. So,
well, you know who had it and did not have a good Linda Evangelista.
Yeah, she said it ruined her body.
Yeah, and I'm like, see, these are the things. Even non-invasive things can have issues.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you have to do your homework. But I'm glad it didn't have issues for you. And I found it very interesting. Like, did you sit somewhere, or like did somebody what's the procedure like?
Yeah, they lay you down, and then they these like cool machines, and they target an area. And
It's suction. They suction it on.
They suction it on, and then it just hits you with super Arctic cold stuff, and it's uncomfortable for about 2 minutes, and then it just becomes numb. And then you sit there. So I watched a whole movie because they come in and they did like
different areas.
And we took before and after photos, and it did something, and I was glad. I'm so glad I did it. I would go back again.
It was a noticeable difference, though.
It was like yes, but also like no. But
slightly.
But it was a slight difference of like, you know, when you try to work out or you try to like be active, there's just like naggy spots in your body. So I wanted to see what would happen, and like it shaved off a little bit, but was it worth the money? I don't know. And would I do it again? Absolutely.
Do they go to CSU, Cool Sculpting University, to get the degree?
That's like Cal State University.
Well, the esthetician or whoever was doing, like, super nice, and like it's the same place I got laser hair done.
Oh, how was that? Was that successful?
Yes, which is astonishing. I should go back again because a little bit, but like I used to be a very hairy person.
Guy, yeah.
I find that very hard to believe. But then you had laser, so
I had I have a lot of hair, and I just like from my own personal aesthetic didn't want to deal with it very much. And so I went, let's go from like 100% of what my hair used to be on my body. And I didn't do it the whole body. I did like just chest. I'm now at like 25%.
Okay, but like, was that because you felt insecure about how hairy you were?
Yes.
Based on the gay community saying you need to be like a dolphin?
I got a little bit of that. But also that I was like, when I was 12 years old, I was the first one on my basketball team to get like hair on my chest. And I got made fun of it as being a young 12-year-old. And so it just stuck with me for my whole life. I've never loved hair on my chest.
That's amazing.
And so when I finally was able to afford this procedure that could like help minimize that, speaking of the psychological stuff, it's totally there.
How many procedures did you have to go through?
Like 4 months.
Wow.
Like every month?
I'd go or maybe it was 6, and I went once a month.
Okay.
I remember when we first started recording, you were talking about doing it.
I did it.
Wow. But these procedures, like all the like those kinds of things, are pricey. Like I feel like cool sculpting is expensive, right?
It was, and they like ran.
But did you get it on a Groupon?
I got
So maybe here's also another takeaway: don't get cosmetic procedures from Groupon
or from Tijuana.
Yeah,
I don't know. So the Tijuana thing is an interesting conversation as well, because I have like a couple of friends that are practicing
doctors
in
TJ.
Mexico. Now, they might be a small group, and yes, there's a lot of non-regulated spaces. But we live in a community that is close to the border.
Yep.
So I feel like we hear about a lot of people going down there. So we're a part of it more just because it's so close.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would just pay for here, like as someone locally.
I think I would too.
I remember when LASIK was just starting to get big, the U.S. patents for LASIK required this huge royalty every time you used it. So it cost a fortune to do LASIK in the U.S.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the same patents in Mexico.
Interesting.
So you could go to Mexico and get the exact same machine, and it would cost, a quarter of what it would cost in the U.S. And
which again is a voluntary
cosmetic
procedure.
Right.
Voluntary. Because, you're insecure about having to wear glasses and you just want to be able to see like everybody else does, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. My only advice for all of this is you've got now, and a lot of cosmetic surgery is really focused on now.
Yeah.
You want to look this way right now.
Yeah.
But you also and whenever you do anything, think of what the long-term effect is going to be. Think about, in 35 years, I'm going to have prostate cancer and I'm going to need treatment. And what do I do now that's going to either...
Like when you get a tattoo, people...
Or any of those things. If you're putting filler in, how is that going to affect you if you have skin cancer later on that needs treatment? Like, those are the things that most 30-somethings or 20-somethings don't think about because it tends to be very here and now focused.
I agree.
But that's what my wisdom is.
And I think I'm with you on that too, because I feel like I'm on the other vein, though, where I don't really want to stay youthful. I don't want to look young forever because I feel like I want to...
Must be nice.
I'm celebrating my going into my 60s.
That's the thing. I welcome age because it means I've had a life that I've lived and that I've learned and I've lived and I've laughed and I have laugh lines, I have wrinkles, and those mean that I've had emotions that I've been able to express. And I acknowledge that, societal beauty is you have to look a certain way and you have to have no wrinkles and anything like that. But I'm we're human beings and we have to interact with each other. And I want to have laughter. I want to have joy in those things.
So when I look at people in their 30s and late 20s that post on Instagram and they're always heavily filtered, it automatically makes me concerned about them. Mm-hmm. To me, that's not a positive thing. That's a very negative thing.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's a social media, Instagram face is a thing.
And it feeds itself, right? We use those filters. We use cosmetic procedures to create an image of who we are. Mm-hmm. And that makes other people want to use those filters and create an image of who they are.
And then influencers sell it. And get paid to promote. Mm-hmm. I think for me, it's about health, and if I need to do something that is for health, I'm all for it. Like I said, skin stuff for me, it's for acne. I don't want, if there's anti-aging benefits, then go for it too. But that's not my main concern.
Did you ever watch the movie? I think it's called is it Mother? Or, it might be something else, but it was about a woman who has 2 kids and then she goes and has plastic surgery done because she just, and then her kids don't recognize her, so they think she's another person and they end up killing her.
Oh.
Oh my God.
There's a lot to unpack.
Interesting.
Good night, mommy?
Maybe. Oh yeah, twin boys. And then, she has face changing cosmetic surgery. Yep. Good night, mommy. There you go. And then, okay, so we were talking about men's procedures. There's one called SWAG, SWAG. Okay, and so it is injecting filler into your penis to increase the girth of your penis. I don't know how oh my Lord.
Why are we looking at that?
Okay, so first of all, I will say, if we haven't told you this already, of course, we record our in our studio, which is our living room. And then the front of the house, we have a glass front door and a giant glass window. And so we're on a busy street, so people walk by all the time.
People can see what's on the TV.
People are probably going to be looking like, why are they looking at medical penises?
Nick has penises on the screen.
Like medical penises after they get the swag.
But like that third image is just, I mean...
It's giving you girth, but it's not giving you length.
It's not giving me life either.
It looks kind of like a potato at that
point. A little bit.
Yeah. You just put a lot of filler in there.
But I'm like, but again, that's something you have to do upkeep.
Consistently, yeah.
Right? It's like I think it lasts like a while, but then you have to get it done again. And then also there's always a chance that you're going to lose sensitivity.
Yeah. Filler, I think, is every like 6 months or so, like 4 to 6 months. It lasts a little bit longer, but like, I don't know. I mean... If it's kind of like a subscription-based thing, like I don't want to have to keep paying for this. It's expensive.
Like we're gonna get you a subscription to swag.
But if you think, like, I mean, Botox, you were saying $500. That's what 500 times 6.
So I'm gonna tell you,
6,000
a year.
Most people get anywhere any mild procedure is gonna take you anywhere between 20 to 25. Units to do. Now, unit-wise, each one, probably, depending on where you live, can cost you anywhere from $10 to $20 a unit. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind financially if that's something you want to do.
And also it depends on if you're a male or a female, because men need more because they have thicker, more muscular skin.
Yeah, I do. My forehead's muscular.
Yeah, bro. You've been doing that forehead lifting. You've been doing that. I don't know.
They do have like forehead extensioning and forehead reducing.
Or would it be 5-head reduction?
So, oh my god, we're like
I know
a little over an hour. So, is there anything else you want to?
No, I think I would say the only thing is if you're having like self-conscious issues, just know that you are perfect the way you are, but it's okay if you want to tweak them, but don't go overboard. And do research.
And know your reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Spend some time thinking internally of why you want to do this.
And also set up your expectations.
Yeah.
Like you probably, there's a chance that you are not going to get the look that you were going for. Mm-hmm. So you have to manage those expectations and deal with how you might look afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, probably a very safe approach to this is say, there's a 75% chance I'm not going to like the outcome for one reason or another, because it might be for any number of reasons. So if I only have a 25% chance of success, is that worth it?
Yep. Right. And just because somebody else did it and you saw it them and it looked great,
it won't be the
doesn't
same.
mean it's going to be the same for you. It's
or
like
that's how they really feel about it.
Yep. Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. Like everything is just, please do your research. Please talk to someone.
Yep.
Go in, have an idea of what you want to do, where you want to do it, and if that's going to be it.
Be an informed consumer.
So, all right. So before we go, we do have producer question. What do y'all got? A producer question.
Have you done that clip yet and made it for this? I think you got to do that.
Just like that with you, like.
I think we need, and we should. I don't know how to do composing of music, but we should make a music thing. Like we should write a song.
Oh, but then oh god, what's his name? The head of the chorus,
Dr. Beale, Charlie Beale.
Yeah, get Charlie Beale to do.
He could compose it. Hey, can you write us a jingle?
A little jazzy jingle.
Oh my god!
The trumpet.
It can be like a minor key, so it sounds dark.
The producers. What a question.
I love it all.
So because we're talking about a lot about like beauty and age and all the things, let's go back to a question of like, what was your favorite age growing up and why? Do you have a memory of like a certain age that you like remember that you
the Mesozoic age?
I really enjoyed the Paleolithic era.
While you were alive, bitch.
You don't know if he was alive.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rude. Ageist.
Maybe you just look good for being a billion years old.
Yeah. What is it? Favorite age?
What was your favorite age growing up?
I hated growing up.
Oh, God. I think for me, it was like when I was like 19, 20, because I was like going to clubs all the time, out every night. Like, I seriously had something to do every single night. Like, Tuesday, like, no, not Tuesday, was it? Yeah, Tuesday night was the only night that there wasn't a club or something going on.
It was Taco Tuesday, right?
Yeah, basically.
We ain't clubbing tonight, bitch. We even tacos.
But, like, I had a good time with making friends at clubs and hanging out with the friends that I did have. You know, just, I think it was just, like, the romanticism around it. Like,
oh, I love that.
Being out till 2 a.m. and closing the club down.
Oh, being young.
Eating a hot dog outside on the corner of the club.
I want a hot dog real bad.
Do you remember being that age and having that be the memory, or was it years later that you were like, man, that was kind of fun?
No, I think it was like later on. It was like, okay, actually that was a cool time, because it was also like right around when like the music was amazing. Yeah. Like, you've got like all these great club songs coming out, and I was, you know, I'm huge into music, and so that club scene at that
You're
time
into
was
music
for me. I know, right? But like that's when like Tori Amos's Professional Widow, Armand Van Helden's Star Trunk Funky Mix. Like, I got this shit down.
Was that in English?
Yes. But like that was like my song, and that came out around that time, and I was just like, every time they played at the club, I'm like, I gotta get to the dance floor. Move, bitch! Hold my hot dog.
Which one?
Yeah,
that was a whole different kind of experience.
What age do you define growing up, though?
Whatever you want. It could be yesterday.
It could be this year if you want,
and it could be when you were 5.
I mean, I feel like I had a really good, like, 21st year, because it was, like, I had a really good group of friends, and, like, I remember the summer, we, like, would go to Disneyland, and, like, we would just have, like, a lot of fun, and, like, it was around the time that the Last Friday Night song came out by Katy Perry, so every time I hear that song, I just, like, am reminiscent of that age, so I would say, like, 21, because it was, like, I was still in school, like, I didn't have any responsibilities, I also didn't have any money, but, like, we still had fun, and so I was just, like, it was, like, simpler time then. That's what mine would be.
Awesome.
All right. You the producer's going to answer the question?
I would say mine would be around age 15, because I grew up in Wyoming at that point, and I got my driver's permit, and I got so much freedom from
there you go. You drive that John Deere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, you know, between, say, 18 and 25, just because 18 because you're kind of finding independence and finding your own person, but also by 25 you were earning a salary and could afford to do things before you couldn't do any of those things. So like that 25-year-old was a great free to do what you want kind of age.
And rent a car without the extra fees.
Oh, that's right. Age 25.
All right, everyone. Well, have a great week. Thanks.
Special thanks to Andrew Smith and Nick Stone for producing the show. If you like us, please follow us at tugayspod on Instagram and visit us online at tugayspod.com. You can find us anywhere you can stream podcasts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know topics you'd like to hear. And always remember, stay safe, stay classy, stay sassy, and always stay a little bit trashy. See you next week.